Yeah, so
What makes you think about the topics you talk about on the show?
Okay, so the topics we talk about are governed by who's on the panel and what's been happening in the news. So we keep a very close eye on what's been happening in the news and what happens out of federal parliament. So if the Prime Minister says something in particular, that's something that we'll want to discuss on the program on a Monday night. But it does also depend on who's on the panel. So you can't have, you can talk about submarines if you want to, but if you don't have a panel that has any expertise on submarines, it makes for a pretty boring discussion. So we talk about what's been happening in the news, but also what the special interests are of those who are on the panel.
all right.
How do you get your main topics?
Oh, that's
How
what
do
we're
we get the
covering.
main topic? So that goes back to again what's happening in the news and what's happening out of Canberra, out of federal parliament. So, like I was saying, when the federal budget was announced, so the measures that were announced as part of that federal budget make up a large part of the program. So that was topics like, for example, the Medicare co-payment, which you may or may not have heard much about. Things like the changing of the retirement age from 67, I think, to 70. That was a big part of the discussion when we were talking about the budget or when that was just released. So it's really about what's happening in the news and especially what's happening in federal parliament, because we're a national program, so we talk about the big issues that will affect all Australians right around the country.
Cool.